tu amigo, tu hermano, tu nutricionista, aquí grabando un video sobre la importancia de aprender otros idiomas. Your brother, your friend, your dietitian back again for another installment. Why all millennials should be multilingual. Let's get it poppin'. First off, this video and all my videos are going to be for the maverick millennials. These are for the go-getters, for the people who are not trying to be average. They're trying to take themselves to the next level. They want to inspirit themselves, they want to forward themselves, and they want to progress. What's really intriguing about becoming multilingual is that we're in a really dynamic world right now as millennials. We grew up in a time period where there was no internet, and then boom, the internet hit, and we saw it all grow, and it's growing now, and it's connecting everyone from all over the world. So now you have videos that are going viral with people like King Batch, LaJuan James, Prince EA. You have different categories of people, but people from all over the world are seeing this. They can see your work, people all over the world. And so you can connect with people from Brazil, from Amsterdam, from Switzerland, like that in the blink of an eye, in ways that we could never do it before. Being multilingual is very important nowadays because we're more interconnected than ever before. Yes, English is an important language and you are advantaged and privileged for having that underneath your belt, but you should attempt to gain understanding of another language, because it's going to connect you with millions of people and millions of minds before anything else. I speak Spanish, pero aunque hablo español, estoy practicando, perfeccionando mi español diariamente. Estudié más antes, pero ahorita estoy bien ocupado y no he tenido tiempo, pero trato. I speak Spanish, but I'm constantemente perfeccionando mi español. I'm constantly perfecting my Spanish, practicing my Spanish, and it's a process. So it's not hard to learn a language. In fact, we're living in a time where you can learn any language in a very short period of time. The reason I learned Spanish was that I'm from Southern California. I always wanted to learn Spanish. I've always had friends who were from Mexico, Guatemala, Peru, different parts of Latin America. And the thing is that there's a barrier that breaks down, or that's broken down when you learn a language. So as a millennial, as a maverick, you can't do everything that everyone else is doing. You have to be dynamic. So you have to pick up a language so that you can connect with minds directly. There's no middleman, the middleman being a foreign language. You're going straight to the language that they spoke and learn their first ideas of what life is about. Their best understanding of what life is, from science to math to just the basic understandings of things that are around them. They learned it first in their native tongue. So when you speak to somebody in their native tongue, it's golden. It's like amazing for them. So you can do business. You can learn certain ideas and read certain literature that is best in that language. You can, like I said, do business. So you have social media, you have your own website where you can do business and you can exchange, knowledge with people in their tongue. Also, there's studies showing for mavericks, for millennials, that really you have a lower chance of having Alzheimer's in the future. It doesn't show. There aren't studies showing that you're actually smarter, but you use parts of your brain that go less utilized when you only are monolingual. So it's really good to learn a multiple language. If you're a young man or a young lady, you can also meet people from different cultures, beautiful people. And they don't have to be, it doesn't have to be sexual or like you're trying to get with this person. It can be if that's your cup of tea, but what I've noticed is like you see a lot of beauty in people. You can learn a lot from knowing Spanish or knowing different language. Like for me, I met this wonderful sister who in Mexico, I was on a bus to go to Guatemala. She it was this expat Caucasian lady, elderly, retired, and she talked too much, and she was speaking English, and I was tired of English, so I wanted to hear some Spanish and talk in Spanish. And I saw this pretty girl who was kind of like observing me on my laptop, and she kind of seemed like interesting. And so I went to go sit next to her, and I asked her, did she speak English? She said no, so I said perfect, because I'm tired of hearing English. So we started talking, but she talked to me about like astrology, abundance, 528 hertz sound, spiritual sounds, music, freedom from like the corporate 9 to 5 world, being vegetarian, eating healthy, traveling, giving in order to receive, just all kind of amazing things. And this, I wouldn't have been able to connect with her if I didn't speak her language. So being multilingual is dynamic. Like I said, you can pass that down to your children, and now your children can get more opportunities. Also in the workplace, you could travel. If you work for a certain company, a corporation, you can go and travel and have privileges that other people in your corporation or company may not have because they don't have the language. So you can go and travel and be able to communicate for your job, for your business. Also, you can make more money. In California, a lot of times you make more money if you're bilingual. So that's good. You can make more connections. You can meet new people. So being multilingual was really amazing. It's really what's popping right now. If you're a young go-getter, you're a young man, you're a young woman, start picking up a new language. Start watching cartoons in a different language. We have VPNs now, and they're called Virtual Something Network. I always forget, but it's basically to where you can watch your Hulu or Netflix in all kinds of languages. So you can watch your favorite shows in Portuguese, or your favorite shows in Spanish, or your favorite shows in Korean, and you can begin to learn the language. There's also things like conversation exchange, iTalk, where you could talk to people. I actually met people that I talked to on these websites, iTalk, conversationexchange.com, where I would talk to someone from Guatemala, for example, and when I landed in Guatemala and met them, when I landed in Guatemala, I was able to meet the people I had spoke with and who I learned the language from. So you can easily learn language every day. You could talk to someone from a different country or from the country that speaks the language that you're trying to pick up with Skype nowadays and FaceTime. So if you're a maverick millennial, you should be using all your resources and all the privileges that we have in the 21st century to become multilingual. That's how I did it. Every day after work, I would come home, get on Skype, and talk to sisters in the Dominican Republic, in República Dominicana. I would talk to people in Venezuela. I haven't talked to my friend in Venezuela in a long time. Guys and girls, from Peru, from different parts of the world. And you learn so much about the politics and history of that nation just by knowing how to speak the language. You start off slow. Like I used to say, ¿Cómo es el clima? Or I would say, ¿Cuántos hijos tiene? Or ¿Cuántos hermanos tienes? Or, just basic questions. Those questions are, what's the weather like? How many children do you have? ¿Cuántos años tienes? How old are you? Hola. You could just say hi. You could just greet the people and just listen to them and take notes. It's really key to have that. You're going to be so much more dynamic. And sometimes when I can't get things, like for example, I was at Whole Foods and I was getting a sandwich, and this woman was telling me that they didn't have one of the ingredients that I wanted, but I knew that they did. And I kept asking her, was she sure? And she was like, yeah, she's sure, we don't have any. But I asked this sister that was speaking in Spanish. She spoke English, but I spoke to her in her native language, asking her about, ¿Ustedes tienen hongos, cocidos or asadas? And she was asking me what kind of mushrooms do you want? And we have some over there. She told me why. I wanted some mushrooms on my sandwich, basically. But the sister was telling me that there was no mushrooms. But I talked to the sister in Spanish, and she told me there was mushrooms, and she told me how I could get them. So it comes in handy, man, and it breaks down barriers, and it connects people, connects hearts and minds and spirits. So become multilingual. Use your time wisely. You got the iPhone. When you're driving, you can listen to different things. Pimsleur. You can listen to. You can get on what is it called? Is it Quizlet? Quizlet. On Quizlet, quizlet.com. You can look up flashcards and things like that. But get out there, step your game up, learn a different language. If I can do it, you can do it. Your brother, your friend, your dietitian back again for another installment. Sigue adelante, no pares. Puedes aprender otros idiomas. Otros idiomas. Yeah, so I'm still practicing, man. I gotta, refine it. But yeah, it's all about travel, abundance, learning different languages. Right now, I'm about to start working on my Portuguese and start picking that up. So that'll be the next thing, so I can hit Brazil and chill. So paz y amor, tu amigo, tu hermano, tu nutricionista, aquí otra vez. Bendiciones a ustedes.